Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, April 6th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great archives up there at the top of the page and eye candy along the bottom. Matt Holliday was shown a scar at the ballpark yesterday. We'll talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. Speaking of pain, you're looking at pain right now, today. We had our first baseball game. You know, it's interesting. We had 5 or 6 indoor practices and then 1 outdoor practice. And regardless of how well you think you're doing and how good you feel in those practices, you don't really end up fully pushing it and testing your body and all of the athletic maneuvers and sort of pivoting and shifting and just all the muscle strain that comes with really performing in a game. And I'm going to tell you, as bad as it is today, it'll be worse tomorrow. It's never the day after. It's the second day where I'm going to need a wheelchair to get around. I'm telling you. Now, I'll be fine in a couple of weeks, but this is something that I go through every spring. Damn you, Bob Ramsey from 101 ESPN. Bob talked me into joining up with the Men's Senior Baseball League about 4 years ago. This is my 4th season. And last night, JC was working the bump for the final 2 innings of the game. We won 13-2, by the way. JC, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no runs, no base on balls, 1 hit by pitch. Sorry, but that was the first game, and oh man, Advil. All right, speaking of baseball, again, if you missed it yesterday, the 60 Minutes piece on Albert Pujols is scheduled to air this Sunday on CBS. I just talked to the promotion department again. The people at CBS, you know, I worked at CBS when I was at KMOX for like 2 months. And it's just amazing how everybody is scared to death at CBS. I don't know what the deal is. There's too many lawyers and too many management people running around with suits on that are too tight. And it's you know, most of us got into radio because we didn't want to get dressed up. We didn't want to work a straight 9-to-5 job. We wanted free stuff. We wanted chicks. We wanted more free stuff. And, you know, there are some radio companies that just sort of don't understand that, and they're trying to run it like it's an insurance company or something. We got into radio to have fun. Don't extract the fun out of radio. Don't extract the fun out of broadcasting. And these CBS people are like afraid of their own show. Oh, don't quote me. I'm like, well, you're the guy at CBS who I was turned to when I asked, when is the Albert Pujols segment going to be on 60 Minutes? Okay, well, it's scheduled for Sunday, but just don't quote anybody at CBS. I'm like, what the hell is this? We're not, you know, establishing policy, the United States and China. It's a damn 13-minute, never mind. Anyhow, it's supposed to be on CBS this Sunday. I don't know what they're doing over there. As you know, I'm not a fan of country music. I despise country music, and I despise the whole attitude that somehow country music is more wholesome or more American, or like you're more patriotic if you listen to country as opposed to something else. It's a big crock. Plus, what's with the deal? They have an award show about every 3 weeks. What's up with that? So Ashley Judd, and there were times where I was being told that Ashley Judd was some just really incredible white hot babe, and I never bought into it. I knew that she liked to chew tobacco, and that sort of did it for me, if you know what I mean. Ashley Judd has a new memoir coming out called All That Is Bitter and Sweet, and it includes tales of rape, incest, sexual abuse, parental neglect, and suicidal thoughts. Have a nice day, country music fans. Charlie Sheen has goddesses, as you know, and one of those goddesses is Brie Olson, one of the pornographic film stars. She is starring in a new XXX parody of Scooby-Doo, and I watched the trailer this morning. She plays Daphne, by the way. And I got to tell you, the production values on these porn movies are getting better and better. I mean, the Batman one they did about a year ago was amazing. I didn't see the movie, but I saw the trailer. You're listening, go, you know, those porn movies were notorious for, you know, bad lighting and shaky cameras and just grainy film and, you know, costumes that just look, you know, just icky. And they've sort of caught on, especially with high def. It's a lot easier to shoot this stuff now. And but they get into these production values and these parodies and everything. They're pretty amazing. This Scooby-Doo, she looks just like Daphne in this thing. So that'll be coming out soon if you're interested. You can tell, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you can tell by how much gold a person wears just how much fun they're having in life. For example, the Pope. Okay? The Pope wears a lot of gold because there's big money in telling people not to have sex. And Bristol Palin is finding that out too. You know, she's got this tour. She goes around and tells kids, don't have premarital sex, while she's like on stage breastfeeding her baby that she had out of wedlock and still isn't married. And I don't understand how that works, but somehow it works because she made $262,000 last year going around the country telling people not to have sex before they're married. All right, the Today Show. This is an astonishing, especially in today's climate of broadcast media where there's so much shifting around and just so many things where you can't really sort of count on consistency. The Today Show has been the top-rated morning show for nearly 800 consecutive weeks. That's more than 15 years. And that's why some people just scratch their heads when they hear stories like this. Meredith Vieira is apparently going to leave the Today Show, unless it's some sort of a contract ploy. Her contract is up in September, but they're saying that she, in fact, is going to bail because last year she turned down the opportunity to sign a multi-year contract to remain with the Today Show and instead signed a one-year deal worth $11 million. And she's apparently going to walk away when the contract is up in September, wants to spend more time with her family. Ann Curry, the current news anchor on the Today Show, is the front runner to take her spot. Robin Gibb of the Bee Gees. You don't hear me talking about the Bee Gees too often because I ain't sort of crazy about them. He's hospitalized in the UK, severe abdominal pains, which may or may not be a big story depending on who you are, but he's had this problem before. Last year he underwent emergency surgery for a blocked intestine. He had to have part of his intestine removed. And again, that's a procedure that's done more than you think. The weird part, though, is that Robin's twin brother Morris, and it is pronounced Morris, it looks like Maurice, but he pronounced it Morris, had an intestinal problem back in 2003, and he died from that. And this is his, this is his twin brother. It's pretty scary. Some magazine put out a list of the 100 most famous WAGs. A WAG, W-A-G, it stands for Wives and Girlfriends of Sports Stars. Stephanie Maguire, Big Mac's wife, is number 71. The number one is Victoria Beckham, and I will never understand that. I think she's grotesque looking. This is an even better use of an Olive Garden gift card than taking your family to the bottomless pasta bowl. According to police in Pittsburgh, of all places, the local prostitutes have started accepting gift cards. The reason why is because they're mostly the prepaid Visa cards, but others are accepted too. The reason is because police will seize their cash during a bust, but they can argue that gift cards were presents. Amazing things going on in the world. All right, what do we got here? Oh, this is John Ratzenberger's birthday today. He's 64. He, of course, was Cliff on Cheers, the voice of the piggy bank, Ham in Toy Story. He's also Pixar's Lucky Charm. Listen to this resume. He does a voice in all of Pixar movies. In addition to the work in Toy Story, he was P.T. Flea in A Bug's Life. He was the Abominable Snowman in Monsters, Inc., the Fish School in Finding Nemo, the Underminer in The Incredibles, the head waiter Mustafa in Ratatouille, John in WALL-E, construction foreman Tom in Up, and in Cars he played multiple vehicles based on his previous Pixar characters. John Ratzenberger, 64 today. It was on this date, 1954, that Swanson and Sons introduced the TV dinner. Now, I got to tell you something. My mom worked when I was in high school. Okay? She drove a van in the afternoon picking up little girls to go to a dancing school and music classes and stuff like that at a local music and dance studio. And that's where I took my guitar lessons. I still can't play. But so she was gone in the late afternoon and early evening, a couple of nights a week. So my dad and I would go out and, we'd go to Ponderosa, or we go here or we go there. But then sometimes my dad was busy too. And so then I would get to eat a Swanson frozen TV dinner. And man, those things were nasty, but I loved them. You'd be eating them, and you'd be going, well, this isn't as good as real food. But for some reason, I liked eating those things. And I still remember you had to put the thing in the oven, but you left the foil over one part of the dessert, and then after the thing cooked for like 45 minutes or whatever, you would take it out and then you would peel the foil back on the dessert and then slide it back in and cook it for a few more minutes, which would brown the top of the Apple Betty. The Apple Betty. And I still remember eating those things, and they were just nasty. I haven't had a TV dinner in, 40 years, whatever, and I can't imagine they're any better, by the way, but they're still out there, so whatever. And it was on this date in 1973 that baseball died a little bit when Ron Blomberg became the first designated hitter in the major leagues. Still a black mark on baseball, still one of the stupidest things going on, that stupid designated hitter. All right, it's time for another IV of Advil. I'm telling you, you can't believe how sore I am. And wait till you hear me whine about it tomorrow. God, it'll be worse tomorrow. So that's it. I actually have to toss the ball with my left hand because I can't even brush my teeth right now. Get my arm up about this. I'm like as good as Ernie Broglio right now, the guy in the Brock trade. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, April 6, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.